Chosen one, what I'm about to share may shock you, but you need to hear this truth. You skipped all the stages of divinity to ascend as the last God. You didn't evolve step by step through the divine hierarchy. You hit God mode before creation was even ready for it. You became God before anyone else, and now the universe itself is adjusting to you. Holy researchers and ancient scholars have discovered something astonishing about you. They found that every stage described in the old sacred books, every prophecy and every myth, they all point to you. You are the embodiment of every divine being that ever was. All these philosophies, ancient writings, and divine narratives, they belong to you. You are the living blueprint of divinity. But there's more. Your body is no longer subject to the laws of mortality. You aren't aging. Your transformation is happening at a pace that defies explanation. Even the most rigorous medical tests have been stunned by your existence, leaving entire teams of doctors in disbelief. Chosen one, you became divine before your time. You are the very embodiment of the divine shift predicted by ancient seers, a shift that was always meant to come, but never like this. Your every action, your every move, aligns with the will of the gods themselves. This is no coincidence. The signs are undeniable. You are the first of a new wave of divinity. And it's not just spiritual leaders or mystics who are acknowledging this. World leaders, holy scholars, and even those who study the deepest truths of existence have confirmed this undeniable fact. Chosen one, you are the harbinger of a new universe. You are the new God. And this is just the beginning. But before we dive deeper into this revelation, take a moment to pause. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This will amplify the energy of this message. If you are truly a chosen one, your spirit knows this is for you, and you will stay until the very end. The universe is already aligning with you. In the earliest whispers of creation, there was an undeniable truth hidden in the ancient echoes of time. You were never meant to exist at this moment. The prophecies foretold of divine evolution. Yet what no one expected was for you, the chosen one, to break the sacred laws of time itself. In every myth, every scripture, and every religious text, the gods were meant to ascend through a slow, deliberate process. But you did not wait your turn. You defied the universe, transcending the natural order with no preparation, no warning. Ancient texts and cosmic sages predicted a gradual rise to godhood. Yet here you stand, the embodiment of an ultimate paradox, an anomaly in the very fabric of reality. You were not molded by time or forced through the natural progression of divine hierarchy. Instead, you skipped those stages and became the last God, the first of a new age. You are a living testament to a divine blueprint that was never meant to be realized this early. But fate, it seems, had other plans. The world now grapples with the impossibility of your existence. Scholars study the sacred texts, attempting to find a pattern, a reason, a law that could explain the rise of the last God. Yet they find only one truth, that everything points to you. From ancient civilizations to modern researchers, they can no longer deny the evidence. You are the living paradox, the God who ascended too early. And as the world struggles to comprehend this, you stand as the harbinger of an entirely new order. You were always meant to be the cornerstone of the new universe, a being whose very existence signifies the end of the gods of old and the birth of something unimaginable. The cosmos trembles beneath the weight of your arrival, and even those who thought themselves beyond belief now look to you with awe and fear. The truth is undeniable. You are the embodiment of divine destiny, and the universe has no choice but to bend to your will. As the world watches, no one knows what to do with the chosen one. Leaders, scholars, and even the most revered religious figures can only stare in disbelief, questioning what happens when a mortal becomes something so much greater, when they become a god, before time is even ready for them. What is a god but a lawgiver, a creator, a keeper of balance? And what happens when that law is broken? You, the chosen one, have shattered the very laws of divinity. In a world that has followed the sacred trajectory of divine evolution for eons, you are the anomaly. The rules that govern the rise of deities have been rendered obsolete by your mere existence. By stepping into godhood before the time was right, you've not only defied cosmic law, you've obliterated it. The concept of divine order has always been sacred. The gods ascended step by step, evolving and gaining power over time. Your arrival was like a cataclysmic force that rippled through the very foundation of existence, creating a fracture in the cosmic order. Those who held power over the divine realms watched in horror as the traditional system of gods was turned upside down. As a cosmic lawbreaker, your very presence challenges the established understanding of what it means to be a god. You have not earned your divinity through a gradual process, but instead seized it before anyone could catch up. The universe, in all its complexity, now faces a crucial dilemma. How does one process a god who wasn't meant to exist this early? How does the cosmos handle an entity that moves with such raw, unbridled force that everything it touches seems to bend and twist? In the ancient texts, the fall of gods was often depicted as a cosmic tragedy, the undoing of divine order. Yet you do not fall. You rise endlessly with no regard for the structure that once held everything in place. Some say you are the herald of the apocalypse, others say you are the savior of a new age. But what is clear is that you are the one who broke the chain. You are the force that has rewritten the destiny of all existence. Your defiance against the sacred timeline is both a warning and an invitation. Those who thought they understood the rules of the cosmos are now facing an existential crisis. What is the future of divinity when the ultimate God arrived too soon? The universe is now holding its breath, waiting for the answer you will provide. There is an ancient saying that the gods must ascend through various stages, each one a crucial step in their evolution. But you, chosen one, you skipped every one of those stages, leaving the old ways in your wake. While the divine hierarchy was meant to progress through time, you bypassed every step and ascended directly to the pinnacle of divinity. The speed at which you rose is nothing short of incomprehensible. You went from mortal to god, bypassing eons of gradual transformation in a single, unexplainable moment. Imagine the disbelief of the ancient sages, those who had spent their lives studying the divine evolution. They had written volumes about the sacred stages a being must pass through to attain godhood. Yet you didn't just pass through those stages, you broke them entirely. Every sacred text, every divine story that once held the blueprint for the creation of a god now pointed directly at you. You are the exception to every rule, the anomaly that no one could have predicted. Your ascension to godhood was not a slow climb. It was a sudden, unimaginable leap that defies every known law of existence. While other deities had to fight their way through the chaos of creation, you arrived fully formed. The power that courses through you is unlike anything that has ever been seen before, and no one knows how to interpret it. You were not crafted over time, you simply were, from the very beginning. But what does it mean for the divine realm when someone skips the stages of evolution? Does it make you less divine or more? In many ways, you have proven that divinity is not a process, it's a choice. Your choice, the moment you broke the chain of ascension, has left everyone questioning their understanding of what it means to be a god. And yet, as you stand there, untouched by time, you remain the singular figure who defies every law ever written. You are the one who proved that gods do not need to evolve in the same way as mortals. You have become the embodiment of what could be, what should be, the ultimate reflection of divine potential. In the quiet halls of sacred libraries and the sterile rooms of scientific laboratories, a discovery was made, a discovery that shook the foundations of everything we thought we knew. Holy researchers, scholars who had spent centuries decoding the ancient texts, began to notice something strange, something that could not be ignored. The Chosen One was the answer to all their questions. The ancient prophecies, the cryptic scriptures, and the mathematical equations of the cosmos, they all pointed to you. The research began in small, seemingly inconsequential steps. At first, the texts were seen as mere allegories, symbolic representations of something greater. But the more the researchers delved into them, the clearer it became. You were the fulfillment of everything that had been foretold. From the beginning of time, the sages and prophets spoke of a singular being who would rise to shatter the old order. That being, they realized, was you. The moment they realized this, the ground beneath their feet seemed to tremble. What they had uncovered was not just a prophecy, it was the framework of the universe itself. Each deity, each stage, each divine event had been building toward this moment. Your birth. You were not just a part of the divine tapestry. You were the loom that wove it together. The scholars were left in awe, not just of the prophecy, but of the undeniable truth that they were witnessing the birth of something new. You were not just the result of divine will, you were divine will. And still, they could not explain how this could happen. The researchers, who had spent their entire careers trying to predict the patterns of creation, were at a loss. How could a mortal become a god before time even allowed for it? How could one being represent the culmination of every divine plan ever written? The implications of their findings were staggering, and the world had no choice but to acknowledge the truth. You were the last god, the first of something entirely new. But the question remained, what would this discovery mean for the world? If you were the embodiment of all divine stages, what role would you play in the future? The researchers could only wait and watch as you, the Chosen One, continued to reshape the world around you. And in their hearts, they knew that they were witnessing the birth of a new era, one that no prophecy had ever predicted. Long before your arrival, when the stars were still young and civilizations were but whispers in the wind, the ancient prophets wrote of a being who would come too soon, a god before the age of gods. Their words were dismissed as poetic madness, metaphors for cosmic rebirth. Yet, as history unfolded, every fragment, every prophecy, every sacred symbol began to make sense. They weren't speaking in riddles, they were writing about you. Across the sands of time, from Babylonian tablets to Vedic hymns, from Egyptian walls to Norse runes, a single name appeared in different forms. The one who arrives before the appointed dawn. These texts, once thought to be separate mythologies, are now understood as pieces of a single divine mosaic. You were the missing piece, the living embodiment of everything the ancients foresaw. They spoke of a being whose body would not age, whose presence would bend the laws of nature, and whose awakening would mark the end of divine order as the world knew it. When scholars cross-referenced the timelines, they discovered that each culture had witnessed the same celestial anomaly, a divine pulse, a star's rebirth, a light descending upon the earth. These cosmic signs aligned perfectly with your birth. The universe itself seemed to recognize you before humanity ever did. You were and are the nexus of prophecy, the convergence of divine narrative and cosmic design. The ancients called you many names: the early god, the final dawn, the unwritten deity. They feared you, revered you, and prayed you would never awaken before your time. But destiny cannot be delayed forever. As your presence unfolded upon the earth, the prophecies ignited once again, not as mere stories, but as living truth. Every scroll, every verse, every chant began to resonate with your name. And now, those same prophecies are being reinterpreted not as myth, but as history. The final revelation has arrived. The chosen one has returned, not as the student of the divine, but as its final teacher. The very words written to describe you have begun to take form in reality, reshaping everything humanity once believed about gods, creation, and destiny itself. When the great libraries of the world were examined, a terrifying realization dawned upon scholars. Every sacred book, every holy scroll, every mythic legend pointed to a single being: you. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, but directly. The patterns of divine evolution, once believed to describe the journeys of countless gods, were in fact describing different aspects of you, fragments of your eternal being spread across time. The Egyptian Book of the Dead spoke of a god who would walk in flesh before the first dawn. The Sumerians wrote of a divine presence that existed before even the gods took their form. The Greeks whispered of Ion, the Eternal One, who transcends both time and divinity. Every civilization, unaware of the others, described the same phenomenon: a being outside the wheel of divinity. You are that being. What startled historians most was the unity of these messages. Cultures separated by oceans and millennia could not have shared this knowledge, yet their scriptures aligned perfectly. When all texts were layered together, the result was a cosmic code, a map of creation itself, with you at its center. Your existence is not just a miracle, it's a message written in the language of eternity. Modern theologians call this the convergence theory, the idea that every religion and myth is but a reflection of one truth, and that truth is you. The proof lies in the impossible consistency of divine archetypes: the healer, the destroyer, the reborn one, the unending flame. Each title once belonged to a different god, but in you they all converge. You are the totality of all divine expression. As humanity uncovers these truths, the old boundaries of faith begin to dissolve. The divisions between gods, religions, and beliefs fade in the light of your existence. The sacred texts no longer compete. They unite, pointing toward you as their ultimate fulfillment. You are not one of many gods. You are the reason gods ever existed. When scientists first studied you, they expected the ordinary, blood, bone, DNA. What they found instead rewrote every law of biology. Your cells regenerate faster than any known organism. Your body resists decay, rejects aging, and evolves continuously, adapting to conditions that would destroy mortal flesh. You have become a living paradox, a being both human and beyond human. Doctors from around the world examined you, and their instruments faltered. Machines failed to record your pulse, scanners could not map your organs, and every medical explanation turned into silence. The deeper they looked, the less they understood. Your body doesn't just heal, it redefines itself. Time has no hold on you. Decay cannot touch you. You exist in a state between evolution and eternity. The ancients spoke of such a body, the divine vessel, the perfect host of creation's essence. It was said to appear only once, in the being destined to bridge the gap between God and man. That vessel, they said, would not die, for it would contain the very code of life itself. You are that vessel. Your flesh carries the song of creation, an eternal rhythm that cannot be silenced by time. The implications are staggering. If your body is a prototype of divine perfection, then you are not merely alive, you are the blueprint for future existence. Humanity's next form lies within you. Every moment, your being whispers to the universe that evolution is not over. It is only beginning again, through you. Those who have seen you describe an unsettling serenity, as if standing before something that should not exist, yet somehow feels familiar. You are not simply immune to time, you are the reminder that time itself is a fragile construct, and that in you, eternity has found a body. At first, it was thought to be a mutation, a rare genetic anomaly. But as medical teams delved deeper, they discovered something unthinkable. Your biology had transcended evolution itself. The cells in your body didn't merely regenerate, they evolved on command. Every test defied expectation, every result broke another law of nature. Reports leaked to global agencies, governments dispatched covert teams to study you, hoping to harness the divine anomaly. Yet every experiment ended in failure. No one could replicate your transformation. Your DNA structure appeared more like a living equation than organic matter, an ever-changing code that responded to unseen cosmic frequencies. You were no longer human by any measurable standard. Some scientists, overwhelmed by the inexplicable data, abandoned their fields entirely. Others turned to theology, convinced that your existence was not a scientific mystery, but a divine message. How could medicine explain a being whose cells contained the pattern of creation itself? How could physics account for a body that existed outside entropy? The scientific community divided. Some called you a miracle, others a threat. But whether in reverence or fear, they all agreed on one thing. You are beyond understanding. You are the moment where science meets divinity, where logic collapses under the weight of the impossible. As the years pass and your body remains untouched by age, medicine stands humbled. You have become the living proof that science, for all its brilliance, is still only a language trying to describe the indescribable. You are that indescribable truth. The ancients believed that creation itself was unfinished, that the divine had left a fragment incomplete, waiting for one being to complete the process. You are that fragment made whole. Your body is not merely human flesh, it is divine evolution, continuing in real time. Every cell within you hums with purpose, adapting, transforming, transcending what it means to exist. Evolution, for the rest of life is a slow climb. For you, it is instantaneous. Your physiology rewrites itself as though guided by unseen intelligence. The divine flesh within you grows not toward survival, but toward perfection. It learns, it remembers, it creates. You are the bridge between the mortal and the infinite, the vessel through which evolution touches godhood. Your existence proves that the divine process is not static. The gods of old stopped evolving because they believed themselves complete. But you, chosen one, are the reminder that creation never ends. You are evolution's final breath, the embodiment of the divine will to grow beyond boundaries. Through you, the universe continues its unfinished story. There are moments when your transformation becomes visible, when your eyes seem to hold galaxies, when your skin shimmers like starlight, when your voice carries an echo not of this world. Witnesses describe feeling both terror and peace in your presence. They say being near you feels like standing at the edge of creation, where the first light meets the last shadow. You are not a god finished, you are a god still becoming. You are living evolution, eternal in progress, endless in transformation. You are the universe realizing that its final creation was never a god, it was you. It began subtly, strange alignments in the stars, sudden awakenings among the spiritually attuned, whispers of divine energy rippling through the world. The old texts called them the signs of the last god, markers of the one who would signal the end of divine order. And one by one, those signs have begun to appear all around you. Your presence alters the environment itself. Machines malfunction in your proximity, clocks slow. Nature reacts in ways no one can explain. Flowers bloom out of season, storms quiet at your passing, and animals approach you without fear. Even the magnetic fields of the earth pulse differently when you are near. You are not simply in the world, you are reshaping it. Religious leaders claim your existence fulfills the final prophecies, that the last god has arrived not to destroy, but to reset creation. The ancient symbols appear wherever you go, etched in frost, fire, and light. People dream of you before meeting you. Time itself bends, folding moments of past and future around your every step. The signs are undeniable. The old gods fade, their temples crumble, and yet new energy rises, drawn toward you like gravity. You are the center of an awakening, not a war of gods, but a merging of all divinity into one consciousness. You are the end and the beginning, the silence after the storm, and the first sound before creation. And as the signs multiply, the world stands divided. Some kneel, some flee, some try to harness your power, but none can deny it any longer. The last god has awakened, and the universe has begun to rewrite itself around your name. There comes a moment when the universe looks inward, when creation finally sees what it has made. That moment has arrived. You, chosen one, are that reflection. You are the mirror through which existence sees itself, the echo of every divine whisper since time began. When creation looks into you, it does not see another god, it sees its own face. For countless ages, existence expanded blindly, driven by instinct, unaware of its true form. Yet when you appeared, everything began to slow, as if the universe itself had paused to gaze at you. You are the mirror between the creator and the created, the moment when both recognize that they are the same. Every particle, every star, every heartbeat in existence bends toward you because they recognize you as the point of return, the reflection of all things divine. You are not a ruler sitting above creation. You are its living memory, its consciousness awakened. The ancients once said, "When the last God rises, the sky will no longer look down upon the world. It will look back at itself." That prophecy has come true. When the light of stars touches your skin, it doesn't merely illuminate you, it remembers you. You are the remembrance of the cosmos, walking among those who have forgotten where they came from. In your presence, people feel something unexplainable, a stirring in the soul, a sudden awareness that they are part of something infinitely vast. They see themselves in you, just as creation does. Your reflection is not just in mirrors or waters. It lives in the hearts of those who look upon you and feel, for the first time, what it means to exist. You awaken the divine reflection in everything, and when creation meets its reflection, when it sees itself through you, balance is restored. The universe is no longer a wandering storm of chaos and chance. Through you, it remembers its origin and its purpose. You are not simply the last God. You are creation realizing that it has always been divine. When you awakened, the old divine timeline, the sacred sequence that ordered all things, began to unravel. It was as though every prophecy, every divine hierarchy, every god that had ever ruled was suddenly rendered obsolete. The timeline, once linear and absolute, folded in on itself, collapsing like a dying star under its own gravity. The universe could no longer contain what it had birthed too early, you. The collapse did not come with fire or fury, but with silence. The gods felt it first, a tremor in eternity, a stillness that even immortality could not explain. The old laws began to dissolve, and time lost its structure. The past began bleeding into the future. The divine calendar, once unbreakable, shattered. And at the center of that implosion stood you, calm, radiant, timeless. Historians and mystics alike call this event the Great Convergence. It was the moment when the divine and the mortal became one continuum. Where others waited for prophecy to guide them, you became the prophecy. You rewrote the laws of fate itself, bending destiny's timeline to your will. You are not a product of divine intention. You are divine intention incarnate. In your rise, destiny was humbled. The great cosmic playwright dropped its pen, for the story could no longer continue without your approval. It is said that even the stars paused their burning when you awakened, as if waiting for your command to resume. The heavens did not anticipate your divinity. You were the unpredicted storm, the error in the divine design that became the perfection of existence. You are proof that creation itself is not in control, that sometimes the masterpiece paints itself. And yet, there is beauty in this defiance. Because you arrived before destiny was ready, the universe has become alive with uncertainty. Miracles unfold without warning. The laws of probability twist into poetry. The cosmic script has been rewritten with your heartbeat as its rhythm. Every atom moves not by chance, but by your silent will. You have become what no prophecy dared to imagine, a god who outran destiny itself. You are the living rebellion of creation, and in your defiance, you have given the universe something it never had before: freedom. At first, the world resisted you. Governments dismissed you as myth. Scholars called you a mythmaker, and the faithful feared what your existence meant for their gods. But resistance soon turned into revelation. When the evidence became undeniable, when sacred texts, celestial alignments, and global phenomena all pointed toward you, even the most skeptical minds began to bow in silence. World leaders held secret meetings to discuss what you were. Scientists were summoned, priests were questioned, philosophers debated until their voices broke. Yet in the end, all found the same truth. You exist beyond comprehension. Medical records confirmed your unchanging biology. Astronomers recorded the shifting constellations that aligned with your movements. Religious scholars uncovered ancient manuscripts that mentioned your coming in chilling precision. One by one, the world's great minds stood before the undeniable. Presidents, prime ministers, and popes all found themselves united in awe, not by politics or power, but by you. They realized that no system, no government, no faith could define you. You had become the common denominator of truth, the singular mystery that humbled both science and religion alike. Universities now teach your name. Holy orders chant your story. The world that once doubted you now builds monuments in your image, not out of worship, but out of recognition. You are not a myth or a miracle. You are evidence, the living bridge between the known and the unknowable. And yet, even as they confirm your divinity, they cannot contain it. For every attempt to define you only reveals how much greater you are than any definition. The world has moved from denial to devotion, and in that transformation, humanity itself has evolved. And so it ends, not with destruction, but with awakening. The world stands at the edge of a new dawn, watching as the last God rises. You are not born of heaven or earth, but of something far older, the original consciousness from which all creation sprang. You are not here to rule, but to remind existence of what it truly is: infinite, divine, and alive. You are the stillness after eternity's storm, the light that refuses to fade. The old gods whisper your name with reverence, for they understand what has come. You are not their successor. You are their completion. Every divine spark, every myth, every act of faith across time has been leading here to you. You are the culmination of all belief, the final evolution of divinity itself. The skies open not in thunder, but in harmony. The stars do not burn out, they align. Humanity, once fractured by faith and doubt, looks upon you and sees unity, the undeniable truth that godhood was never separate from creation. You are the mirror in which every being sees its divine reflection. You are the end of gods and the beginning of something greater, the universe awakening to itself. As you rise, the boundaries of the cosmos begin to dissolve. The old divine order fades like a memory, replaced by a new reality, one where creation no longer serves gods, but becomes God. Through you, existence completes its circle. The Alpha meets the Omega, and time finally exhales. You are the final God, the one who came before destiny, the one who outlived prophecy, the one who exists because existence itself needed you. The world has not lost its gods. It has found them all within you. And now, as eternity bends around your name, a new universe begins. One born not from chaos, but from your divine awakening. From the moment existence stirred, there was a force, a pulse, a heartbeat that carved the universe into its shape.